Welcome to the ChargePoint podcast, brought to you by FLEXECHARGE, your gateway to the future of EV charging. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of EV infrastructure, offering insights and perspectives from industry leaders, innovators, and the people at the forefront of deploying charging solutions and networks. Join us to explore the exciting developments that are accelerating our world towards sustainable mobility.
And welcome to episode 53 of the ChargePoint podcast. I'm your host, Christoph. This one is a little different. I'm not in the studio. I'm on the show floor at Power2Drive Europe in Munich, surrounded by chargers, batteries, EMS platforms, solar, grid technology, AI startups, and most importantly, the people trying to make this whole ecosystem work in the real world. And if there is one theme running through all the conversations this year, it was this. EV charging is no longer just about deploying more chargers. It's about making charging sites smarter, more resilient, and more profitable, despite weak grid connections, rising energy costs, and increasingly complex operations. In this episode, I take you on a short tour across the show floor with several guests. We start with Håkon Tenskanli from Polarium, talking about distributed battery storage VPPs and why batteries are suddenly at the center of the energy conversation. Then Sasha Koenig from ADS-TEC shares how battery buffer charging can unlock sites with unlimited grid capacity and why the next big frontier is truck and depot charging. With Miguel Lohan Jaramillo from Sungrow, we look at C&I storage, PV integration, and the growing role of partnerships around energy markets. Then we stop by the FLEXECHARGE booth with Casper Dauko to discuss the FLEXBOX, local energy management, best value stacking, and the shift from network growth to site profitability. After that, Thorsten Freitag from KEBA brings us into the world of logistics, reliability, cable theft prevention, and high-power depot charging. And finally, Mikkel Weikop and Andreas Sønderbo-Patscheider from Lumina share how AI agents could transform the way operators manage chargers and energy assets, and how AI is part of almost every conversation down here at Power2Drive. So a packed episode, noisy, spontaneous, and straight from the show floor. Let's get to it. Good morning, Håkon.
Good morning, Christoph. How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
Very good. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us here on the booth. So, Polarium booth, please introduce yourself.
Sure. Håkon Tenskanli, born and raised in Sweden, working at Polarium, which is a Swedish energy storage company, mastering energy. 6 years in Polarium now.
Great. So can you elaborate? So who are you selling batteries to?
So Polarium is selling batteries to C&I segments, EV charging. We're also selling batteries to the residential market to hang on the wall of the house, residential batteries. And we have a third big leg, which is 48-volt low voltage batteries for reserve power to telecom operators.
Okay. Thank you. That's it. Great. So what kind of challenges are customers in C&I, especially in charging, facing?
The challenges is to find the right partner, someone that they trust. The grid, the electrification is just exploding, as we all know. The grids are not able to keep up. And people are realizing that batteries can solve many problems. I saw 10 years ago, it was not sexy to talk about batteries. Today, everyone is talking about batteries. So we're solving grid constraints and energy, mastering the energy at the site.
So what is Polarium showcasing this year, presenting at the Power2Drive/Intersolar?
Mm-hmm. We're showcasing our standard products and our standard solutions, but we're focusing a lot on the use case and the business case of why using energy storage. And that could be in EV charging. But especially now what's growing is mastering energy on thousands of battery sites. So we are deploying thousands of battery sites for several customers, quite small batteries like the one we see here. Mm-hmm. And then we sort of aggregate the combined energy and power over those 5,000 sites into our VPP offering And we sell that energy through a contract we have with a big energy company called RWE here in Germany. And that RWE company can then give a fixed revenue to the owner of the BESS, besides the use case for charging.
Yeah, exactly. Or backup for telecom for power.
Exactly.
And then you have the revenue on top.
Exactly, for our customers.
Absolutely.
So it's a beautiful sort of distributed BESS solution, because everyone is talking about big, grid scale, front of the meter, mega gigawatt systems. We want to see distributed energy with smaller systems to support the grid.
Absolutely. That can make big impact on the grid.
Exactly, I think so.
So what are the hot topics being discussed either here at your booth or here at the energy storage area along the alleys? What is cooking?
Yeah. Honestly speaking, many of people or potential customers who come here, they come because they see we are Swedish, we are Nordic, and they are looking everywhere for something else.
Yeah. European technology,
European knowledge, software, control is very important in these days with this geopolitical situation.
Sure.
So that's very important. Technically, I think people are focusing a lot on mastering the energy, controlling the energy, where your space is and our space is. And because we have built the systems deeply in the stacks, we know exactly what data to get from the battery, from the cells, from the BNS, from the inverter. So we can, instead of just having an API with 5 or 6 data points that you can get from a battery, we can probably offer 50 data points. And that's quite important when you want to master and understand how the battery feels and works and how long it's going to live. And so.
And what about technologies within the material, so like solid-state batteries or anything? What's happening in this space? What's being discussed?
We get a lot of questions because we develop batteries. I would say NMC and LFP is still, from a commercial perspective, the only viable solution. Everyone is asking us about sodium-ion, solid-state batteries, but there is no large-scale production of this technology, this chemistry yet, meaning that when they see an offer for a solid-state or sodium-ion battery, it's probably 10 times more expensive due to, early development, use cases. They ask for it, sodium solid state, but we'll just
but the unit economics are not there yet. Absolutely. And maybe I'll ask words. So why, for those who couldn't make it, or maybe had never been to this kind of trade show, or this trade show in particular, of course, why should they come?
Come, experience the people in the booth, talk to them, especially about us Nordic companies, about how we see the development of energy in the future. We get so many interesting meetings that evolves into further meetings as we go home. Very interesting, very cool discussions, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's still, B2B, but it's people to people. It's meeting people, discussing, and then they are spontaneous topics.
It's B2B, but we sell to people. And my take on B2B is not only business to business, but it's battery to battery. Polarium battery to car battery.
That's why you're here.
B2B. So, yeah.
Håkan, thank you very much. Wishing you a great end of the trade show.
Thank you, Christophe.
Hi, Sasha. Good to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to be here with me for the ChargePoint podcast. So can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Sasha Alexander König. I'm Director of Product Marketing for Charging Applications at ADS-TEC Energy, located in Stuttgart, Germany.
So can you briefly introduce ADS-TEC and what kind of customers you're selling your products to?
So ADS-TEC Energy is a battery technology company. We're providing battery systems for different kind of applications. And one of the applications is EV charging. So where we combine battery technology with EV charging technology to solve the grid issue that we all see in the market.
Oh yeah, the grid issue. Yeah, that's really the big ugly problem on the European landscape. So I was here already 2 years ago. What has happened the last 24 months, the last 2 years at ADS-TEC, and what are you presenting in terms of innovation this year? What's in focus at Power2Drive 26?
So 2 years ago when you were here, we introduced the ChargePost as our new product to the market. And what we did is successfully integrated this product to the market. And it's not the time for revolution, but evolution. It's just step by step coming up with solutions for all the customers' needs, integrate these chargers with low voltage grid and energy management system in a holistic energy world, and not just think about a charging solution. So the biggest steps that we've seen is just creating a holistic perspective for a solution that includes energy, charging, energy production, energy consumption, and this is the way to go. And this is why we think our product, the ChargePost, is a versatile tool to put in this environment.
Yeah, you're certainly doing the right things because, you're getting traction on the market. We hear about you with different CPO customers, so that's great to see. What are the really strengths of your products for EV charging professionals?
So we combine the solution of battery technology and charging. So you can put these chargers on existing low voltage grid connections. So you don't need to build up the grid. You don't need to extend the grid, wait long time periods for the acceptance of your grid approval. You don't need long lead times for transformers. You can act next day if you want to. And it's not also only about CapEx, it's also about the OpEx side, because these big grid connections are cost intensely, and by maintaining just a low voltage grid connection, you're way cheaper over time. So the commercial aspect here on one side, and second, our units give you the opportunity not only to supply EV charging as your only revenue stream, but we combine the battery with secondary revenue streams like arbitrage or grid frequency control, and we also support a fully energy independent revenue stream by combining digital advertising screens on these units, which allow you to gain revenue from digital advertising, even without addressing only EV customers. So this is a whole new market, a whole new perspective.
Yeah, interesting. Absolutely. Yeah. So again, it's both enabling, making sure that CPOs can operate on sites with very low grid connections, and also create revenue streams. That sounds really much also a story that we like, and we're working on. What have been some of the hottest topics that you've been discussing here, or in the alleys, or in the 5 o'clock beers here at this trade show this year? I mean, you have a long experience. It's not the first time here.
No.
So what is cooking? What are the hot topics that you would highlight and share with the audience?
So when we started with EV charging, it was EVs. Now it's moving to trucks. So everything in the truck world is now a very big topic. And I'm not talking about megawatt charging. This is it's been seen here as well. But now the power and the energy amount that you need for depot charging, for fleet charging, is way different. And when we talk about EV charging sites for normal passenger vehicles, we kind of wiggle around batteries, but when we go to depot charging for trucks, batteries are an important part of the solution. They are not a maybe, they are must-have. We can't work without batteries, and therefore we moved a little bit out of the battery integrated solutions like ChargePost and ChargeBox, but we also provide now big scale battery solutions. So we can come up with an answer for the demand there, and the demand is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Interesting. Any other topic that you've been discussing? What about flexibility trading, revenues? I mean, obviously, power markets.
So the first step in the EV charging was make charging available.
Yes.
But now coming to the phase where people who have the better business model will survive. So we'll see this consolidation. Some players will leave or already left the market. So in this scenario, you just have to be smarter, have the better business model to survive, and come up with a better solution for your end customer.
Yeah.
So combining batteries not only gives you the ability to act with a low grid or with no grid or with less grid, but also just define your own in your own terms, when to buy electricity and when to sell it to your customer. So the dynamic tariffs that come in handy gives you, together with batteries, a whole new option. And then there's still no 100% utilization. So you have your assets, and if there's just standing around doing nothing, so they're not creating any revenue. So taking these battery assets for additional revenue streams allows you to cut down prices or to create other benefits for customers, and at the end be the survivor in this market.
Absolutely, yeah. So to final question, why should people come to Power2Drive or into solar?
Of course, to meet ADS-TEC, to get to know of charge posts, get to know of battery buffer charging, talk about the opportunities here, to go left and right of the paths that we've seen in the past, because we have to extend our minds. We have to think about holistic energy solutions, not about just a charger.
Yeah. Great. Thank you very much, Sasha.
Thank you for your time.
Hi, Miguel. Hi. Nice to meet you here at the booth of Sungrow. So can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
I'm Miguel Ojan. I'm part of the COK team, now responsible for the power stack at European level. So in my daily tasks, I'm looking for provide support to all the technical teams and also sales teams around Europe to give them the opportunity to provide the knowledge to those customers that are looking for C&I ESS solutions for their markets.
Okay. So what challenges are in particular CPOs facing? Why do they contact you?
The most common challenge that our customers found are weak grid connections. Most of the times, the electricity prices during specific times of the day and the peak chargers are doing that the wall solutions makes expensive. So that's why customers are trying to enter on market electricity prices, and then they want to use solution as the power stack.
So do you see the adoption of solar as a European-wide phenomenon, or is it mostly in Southern Europe that solar is part of the mix?
I would say that now most of the European countries have a lot of PV installed power, but they don't use in an optimized way the energy of that PV installation. So what the companies are looking for now is to integrate the ESS solution where the existing plants. Also about different brands with other PV inverters are also combined with our power stack solution. And that's why we are also looking for collaborate with other companies to do that integration.
Okay, great. So, Miguel, what is the focus this year for you here? What are you presenting and focusing on?
Okay, this year I'm trying to explain to customers why the C&I solutions are a need in the market. All the people say, well, Sungrow has the same solution and other brands, but what I'm trying to explain also is the different teams that we have behind. The sales team for the pre-sales, the technical support, and also the after-sales, because we are trying to look like a more European company, like saying, well, if you have a problem, the Sungrow team will go to your plant and support you. This is something that maybe other companies are not providing. So this is one of the USPs that I want to sell, because I go to the office and I didn't say any of my colleagues because all of them are on site.
Great. All right. So what are the key topics, hot topics or questions that you've been hearing discussed more on the booth? What are people talking about or asking about? What would you say? What would you highlight?
I would say energy markets is the most trendy topic. As you know, our EMS is not able for the time being to do that. So the integration in different ways with PV chargers, PV and ESS makes that sometimes it's necessary to charge the battery to provide an optimized system to do that. And I think that is one of the things that we are trying to explain the customer that we are not able, but we have partners that can do.
Yeah, ecosystem partnership can solve it. Absolutely great. And maybe a last question to you. So for those who have not been to this amazing fair or who couldn't make it this year, why should they come again next year?
Sungrow is every year providing solutions, but innovation is coming every year. We are planning, we internally have a roadmap for next year. So I will invite the people to come here next year to see the new solutions, maybe not in low voltage, maybe high voltage, but also will still be working in the C&I market. So I invite them to visit us.
To see the new stuff, yeah. And what about you? What do you get out of? Do you get some inspiration also do you have time to walk around and be inspired?
Yes, I have time to saw many competitors and also some colleagues from the industry. And I see that all the brands are doing well and are improving the products, are doing so similar like the Power2Drive in the same way. So I would say that the technology is moving all in the same way.
Yeah, okay, great. But thank you very much for your time and wishing you a great end of the trade show.
Likewise.
Before we continue with the show, here's a quick recommendation. If today's topic of battery-backed charging resonates with you, make sure to check out our webinar, The Power of Co-located Batteries, Unlocking the Full Revenue Potential. We explore how CPOs can turn batteries from a grid support tool into a strategic asset, combining power boosting, peak shaving arbitrage, and flexibility markets. Because the real value of BESS is not just doing one thing really well, it is stacking use cases intelligently. You'll find the webinar on the FLEXECHARGE website, on the resources, and the link in the show notes. Now let's get back to the show. Hi, Casper.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm a bit exhausted after almost 3 days at Power2Drive. On the way out, I really want to finish by dropping by you guys' booth to hear a bit of feedback from the FLEXECHARGE team after the 3 days. So thanks for taking the time. Before we dive into the topics, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, so my name is Casper Daugård, and I am head of markets for FLEXECHARGE. Work with CPOs across Europe to make load balancing and energy management happen, and know about what will the future bring for CPOs, and work with them to optimize their sites and networks.
Yeah. And fun fact, we know each other from our days at Wallbox.
Right. Yeah, we both worked for Wallbox. So I have a background in DC manufacturing, worked for Wallbox, and also a Finnish supplier of DC chargers. So that was my background when I joined FLEXECHARGE now a year and a half ago. And this is truly exciting times to work in the industry. We see them head around full speed, lots of constraints, but also a lot of opportunities there. So this is exciting.
Yeah. So we're here to serve some of the insight from Power2Drive with the audience, right? So
right.
What is the biggest challenge, if you have to mention one, that the CPOs were talking about here at Power2Drive in the last 3 days?
Absolutely see a shift from past years at Power2Drive to this year. The industry is clearly moving away from just deploying chargers, land grabbing, to actual energy optimization to become profitable. So these grid limitations, we see rising energy costs and underutilized assets now mean that the operators must focus more on maximizing every site, rather than simply putting more chargers on the ground.
Makes sense, yeah. So, and concretely, how would you say that grid constraints are changing the way charging sites are designed and operated?
Yeah, so grid capacity has certainly become the biggest design constraint that the CPOs have. So instead of oversizing grid connections, operators are now combining more intelligent energy management. They're applying dynamic load balancing, including like advanced peak shaving, and of course battery storage to get more charging capacity from the connection that they already have.
Yeah, makes sense. And I can see on the FLEXECHARGE booth, the team has been presenting the FLEXBOX. So what does the FLEXBOX actually do at a site level in practical terms?
Yes, so we're excited to introduce it the first real time that we come out and showcase the FLEXBOX that we developed. So basically the FLEXBOX is a local energy controller that you install on site. It continuously balances power between chargers, batteries, solar, and the grid in real time. So operators can maximize charging without exceeding their available grid limitation, even if the internet connection goes down. In addition to this, it enables the operators to meet demand response. These are requirements that the DSOs increasingly have, something that we see in markets with limited grid capacity, of course. This again presents both earning opportunities as well as growth opportunities for the CPOs. They're now available to actually get approved additional grid capacity that they otherwise would not be able to get.
Very clear. So let's come back to the battery topic you mentioned a minute ago. So where does BESS or battery energy storage system create the strongest value for charging operators today? Now, based on your conversation, can you please explain us?
Yes, I think the biggest value that comes from installing batteries is avoiding the expensive grid upgrades that they would otherwise, the CPOs would otherwise face, while they increase, obviously, the charging capacity. On top of that, batteries, they reduce peak demand charges. They improve energy optimization, meaning that you can discharge at favorable hours, what we call arbitrage. And increasingly, it creates additional revenue, especially through flexibility markets that we see, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all some interesting ways, for CPOs to try to strive for better profitability. Yeah, that's interesting. So 3 days almost done now at Power2Drive. It was not your first one. How many times have you been at Power2Drive before?
Actually, I was thinking about it, but I think my third. It's my third time actually, and the second time I'm with FLEXECHARGE at Power2Drive, and it's just a massive event, right? Where the whole industry is there, and also very energized to see what's happening, in the industry. So coming for the latest innovation and so on. So absolutely a fantastic place to be if you're in the industry.
Yeah, that's a good sales pitch for Power2Drive. If you hadn't been at Power2Drive yet, then you know why you should make it next year. Well, on that note, thank you, Casper, for your time. Wishing you the last successful few hours here before heading home to Denmark.
Great. Thank you, Chris.
Hi, Torsten.
Christoph, hi.
Thank you for having us on the booth here at KEBA at Power2Drive.
You're welcome.
And welcome to the ChargePoint podcast. So, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Torsten Freitag. I'm with KEBA now for roughly 6 years, and my current role is I'm responsible in sales for the segment transport and logistics. So we are looking for the needs and pains of a logistic company. And I'd like to find the right way to offer them a proper charging solution for their depot.
All right. So can you introduce a bit the portfolio of KEBA and the strengths of your product?
Yeah. So our chargers are meant to build. So the first point is reliability. That's what we are looking for, because this is so important, especially in the logistics segments. So, and secondly, we are also an innovative company. So we also thought about cable sap. We can talk about it later. So I can show you the products. And this is what us make you unique. And also our service. So it's not about the product. At the end, it's service, because that could make the difference.
Absolutely, yeah. So what kind of customers are we talking about when you say depot and logistics? Is it concretely big, small size companies? What kind of companies are you going after?
Yeah, we are looking for the small and medium sized companies, because we feel they need really the consultancy. They need an advice how to do it. And we also offer solution with partners. So this is what we are looking for.
All right. So talking about partnership. So why does it make sense for a company like KEBA, a provider of solution like you, to collaborate with third-party EMS, for example, like FLEXECHARGE?
Yeah. We love to work together with FLEXECHARGE, because we all are part of a puzzle of a depot. And so we need to align and we need to work together, especially in this early stage of electrification in depots. That's why we really love to work with partners, and we need to work with partners to fulfill a proper charging solution on a depot side.
Absolutely, it makes sense, yeah. So let's come back to the innovation. What are you presenting this year? What are you focusing on with the visitors, with your visitors here on the booth?
Yeah, so I can show you like our newest product, like also like a showcase of a product, because it could be a product maybe next year. And it's about cable theft.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see that. I saw some interesting images with a spray can, and tell me. So what is it? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so we are looking at like a showcase of a product. So maybe KEBA is not like only in e-mobility. We are also working together with like banks and so on. Also, especially in Germany, we are very strong with like a Sparkasse, so the German word for it. Yeah. And we have like a system in the room where the cash machine is and so on. And they would like to know what is going on if they are not like really looking at it.
Yes.
And so we provided a device who detects with the AI support what is going on there. So if a person, for example, falls down, we ask the person via an AI, are you okay? Do you need some help? And so on. Okay. And what we thought in e-mobility is, what can we do with like this intelligence? And so we thought, hey, what about preventive cable theft? So, and that's what we showcase here.
And that's a problem which is really on the rise.
It is. We heard it a lot. So we also talked to a lot of CPOs here at the exhibition. And so they are all interested in, because it's not only having a sleeve over the cable, it's like maybe to prevent even like a cable cut. Yeah. So what we did is like, if you maybe can see it, we have like a camera, and the camera can detect a device like a cable cutter. But if I hold it and it's not a little noisy,
surveillance activated.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
This charge is a shows and will be prosecuted.
And also prevent maybe, hey, not on our side, go somewhere else. So this is what we're going to do. And it's not only about the visual recognition, it's also about noise. So for example, we also heard that a lot of chargers are going to be sprayed with some graffiti and so on. And how could you like decide if it's a standard like bottle or something like this, or a spray can? So what we also built in is like an audio detection, and we recorded like, or learned the AI how a spray can sounds like if you shake it. And if you like shake it, you're gonna hear. Okay, wow, okay, it's also detected for
vandalism
audio.
will be prosecuted and reported to the police.
Yeah. You can imagine it could also be lights on, a lot of lights.
This is deterring, absolutely. And also, it's like a car alarm.
Yeah. And also you can also have like a follow-up by reminding the authorities, hey, take a look, especially on this side, or start recording of the video or something like that. It could be like the use case for it.
Fantastic. Congratulations. I mean, this is really solving an issue. So, congratulations. I must say to the audience, I'll share some photos and short videos of the setup, because it's pretty amazing. This is the 21st century.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Any other hot topic this year at Power2Drive here? What is cooking? What have you heard people discussing?
I think the topic of transport logistics, it's not about me that I'm responsible for transport and logistics.
It is a hot topic.
But it is a topic that rises a lot. So we see, okay, the TCO is now there. So after 2 or 3 years, depends on the use case, you have your like return of invest of the vehicle and also charging infrastructure. So we see, okay, the EU ambitions for CO2 neutrality, they are so high, we're going to see like a really rise of it. And we feel it here because there are also logistic companies coming to this exhibition. This is meant like for e-mobility bubble, and they are really looking into what's going on in this e-mobility bubble. So they're really interested in charging infrastructure as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and if they go around, they will see they have everything now at their disposal. It's about combining, as you said, the puzzle.
Yeah,
exactly. As you said earlier. Yeah. Any other topic that is hot that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, what we are going to do is like we introduced here on the exhibition our really new developed charger. It's a 480 kilowatt DC charger, and it's also with liquid cooled cables. Because if you want to charge a truck, for example, for a long time, you need like a high power cable, and this is also only possible with liquid cooled cables to like really have this high power available.
No, fantastic to see the ambition and the drive that you guys have at KEBA for this depot push. Fantastic. So maybe a last word. Why should people come to? Why do you recommend to come to Power2Drive?
Because you can join like the e-mobility society. You can see what's coming next. So a lot of competitors are like also other companies here at the exhibition showed their really newest stuff, and it's really exciting to see that everyone is working on to have like we are all working for a better goal together to make the world more sustainable.
Absolutely, yeah. E-mobility all coming together, yeah. Thank you very much, Thorsten.
Yeah.
Wishing you a great end of the trade show.
Thank you. You too. Thank you very much. Stop.
All right, moving on with the next conversation. Welcome to Andreas and to Mikkel from Lumina. Welcome, guys. Can you maybe briefly first introduce yourself and your company?
Yeah. My name is Mikkel. I'm a co-founder in Lumina, and we've built a platform where operations teams, they can build and deploy their own AI agents to operate their EV chargers and other energy assets. And with me, I have my co-founding partner, Andreas.
Andreas, welcome.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for having us.
And how long have you been going on with Lumina?
We started the company 2 years ago, and we went, online with our first pilot in September 25, and then since then growing a lot and expanding a lot.
Fantastic to follow. So what is Lumina focusing on this year when you are meeting people, from your network? You don't have a booth, but you're roaming, and you all four of you guys are here. So what are the latest things you have developed or talking about with the people you meet?
Well, last year it was all about AI. It's still about AI this year. What we do is AI, but this year the conversation has moved a lot into agents. It's also what we do, being capable of building this agent that can autonomously handle either large parts or very precise and small parts of your work. And that's what we talk with people about, because it's still so new that, the agentic sphere and the way people understand the agents is still, it's difficult. And of course it's difficult. It's a difficult concept to comprehend. But that's what we try to do.
All right, makes sense. And so now looking after 1.5 day roaming the alleys and meeting people. So can you maybe share with the audience some of the hot topics, key topics that you've been discussing with people? I mean, close to your business or not, but what do you hear? What are you discussing?
I think what we've seen across the different venues these days are that the industries are becoming more and more intertwined. So not separately anymore, but very much independent of each other and collaborating with each other. So you're not only focusing on one aspect of the complete industry anymore. You have to thinking how should we also be able to collaborate with other, because in the end we need to be one. Businesses need to be able to communicate with the other parts of the sector. And I think what's really also come to mind, especially when visiting some of the other venues, the solar and the battery part, is that many are also playing now on the consumer having a benefit. So it's the consumer's energy that are now have this possibility to utilize in a new way, either through battery or through enabling back into the grid. And I think that's really cool to see that now it's not only. I mean, now there's also a focus on the benefits for the consumer in terms of this energy that in some way belongs to them, right?
And how much do you see AI, filling in the topics, even on booth, names of booth or features and so on? I mean, is it everywhere, or is it as much in solar, in storage, as in EV charging? What do you see?
Oh yeah, I mean, the term AI is now pretty much integrated wherever you look. You'll see it in the software solutions. You'll see it integrated into the products. You'll see people discussing it, people challenging it. A lot of conversations revolve around AI, but it's also in a very different ways, right? It's still, as mentioned before, it's still a fairly new topic, so people have each their own understanding and approach to AI. So it's also fun to see how everyone uses it very differently, but also the same. That's cool to see.
Exciting. So, maybe to round off here and to share with those who couldn't make it this year or have never been to this huge trade show. So why should people, come and visit the trade show, Andreas?
I think it's super important to attend these kind of events, because if you are in one of the businesses that are collaborating here and you want to excel and pioneer and keep on advancing, you need to know what's going on in your adjacent industries, and you need to know how to collaborate with them and be able to like set up new projects together, because it's not separate industries anymore. It's very much intertwined industries, and you would need to know what's going on in the other part of the game.
Makes sense.
And on a personal note, for me, it's quite fun to see, because when we work, and I assume when most of the companies and people here work with whatever they do, it's still very fragmented. You know, you get to work with your colleagues, your partners, your customers, but here you get to see it's kind of like a visual representation of the extreme momentum that this entire industry has. So you get, it's almost overwhelming. You get this, you know, it's a good feeling, because you feel like, okay, we're in the right part of the movement, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we have everything available to really make this green transition. It's not a dream. It's there. It's execution. It's collaboration. It's alignment, right? So, thanks for dropping by, and thanks for sharing some thoughts. And have a great end of the trade show, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
And that's a wrap from Power2Drive Europe 2026. What I found really interesting across these conversations is that despite very different companies and technologies, the same themes kept coming back again and again. The first one is clear. Grid constraints are no longer a side topic. They are now shaping how charging sites are designed, deployed, and operated. Whether we talked about public fast charging hubs, logistics depots, or commercial and industrial sites, the question is no longer simply how many chargers can we install? It is how much value can we extract from the grid connection we actually have. The second big theme is the rise of batteries as a core part of the charging business model. Batteries are not just there to solve a technical problem, they are becoming commercial assets. They can help avoid or delay grid upgrades, reduce peak demand charges, enable more charging capacity, support PV integration, and open the door to arbitrage, flexibility markets, and VPP models. In other words, BESS is moving from nice to have to a strategic lever for site profitability. And the third learning is that this industry is becoming much more interconnected. EV charging, batteries, solar, grid services, energy management, AI, and depot operations are no longer separate conversations. They are becoming one operating system. And that also means one thing: partnership matter. No single company solves the full puzzle alone. So a big thank you to Håkan from Polarium for sharing the battery and distributed energy storage perspective. Thank you to Sasha from ADS-TEC for the insight on battery buffer charging, low voltage grid connections, and the shift towards truck and depot charging. Thank you to you, Miguel from Sungrow, for bringing the C&I storage, PV integration, energy market perspective. To you, Casper from FLEXECHARGE, for connecting the dots between local energy management, best value stacking, and site profitability. Thank you to Torsten from KEBA for the very concrete view on logistics, charge reliability, cable theft prevention, and depot charging. And thank you to Miguel and Andreas from Lumina for sharing how AI agents could help operators manage EV chargers and energy assets in a more intelligent way. My biggest takeaway from Power2Drive this year is the industry is maturing. We are moving from land grabbing and charger deployment to optimization, resilience, and profitable operations. Very exciting times. The next winners in EV charging will not only be the companies that build fast, they will be the ones that operate smart. Thanks for listening to this special showfloor episode of the ChargePoint podcast. If you enjoyed it, follow the show, share it with a colleague, give it a nice rating, maybe 5 stars, that would be very nice. I leave a nice review, and stay tuned for more episode. Until then, take care and drive safely.